Hello y'all, it's the Crazy Slav here, back with another World Conqueror 4 video. This video we're going to be continuing the Doom Warzone walkthrough. Uh, we started off with the final mission, Doom Warzone number 6, and then I jumped over to the Tank Warzone with Gadarian and Rocco. I'm doing these in the order that I can actually stand doing the missions. I enjoy using overpowered commanders like Whitman and Gadarian. Today we're going to be using the next most overpowered commander after those two. And you'll be thinking, well, who's as overpowered as Gadarian? Well, no one, at least. No one that's free to play. This is a largely free to play series. If I tell you that I use any if I use any premium content, I'll tell you and explain why. But to answer your burning question, who's nearly as powerful as Gadarian? Well, it's Konev. And we're going to be using Konev, the artillery commander, for the artillery war zone. We have to get through 1377 combat power, and using the given general allocation that I'll explain in the actual war zone, I can only get up to 1069, half nice. So let's dive right into the mission. This will be a walkthrough of the war zone, an optimal scenario. Disclaimer, I will be resetting the missions. You're inevitably going to make a mistake or get some bad RNG that sort of ruins the entire run. I'm trying to give you a perfect run so you can see what a perfect run looks like, so you can maximize your combat power achieved, and hopefully that might just be enough for you to get the objectives you need for your war zones or your frontiers and such. Again, I'm not sure what you guys would be viewing what order you guys would be viewing these videos in, so I'll explain every decision I make, give you some insight into what my thinking is. I've been playing this game for a while now. I feel like I can confidently say I'm, if not good, then quite experienced and know some of the tips and tricks of the game, and I'll try to enlighten you. You can use some of the knowledge on other war zones, other scenarios, frontiers, conquests, who knows where it could be applicable. So let's jump right into the war zone. We've got 10 turns, 1 nuke, 6 commanders, even though we definitely don't want to be allotting that many commanders to this war zone, and a single tier 2 city that has 5 industry and 2 technology output. We also have a level 1 satellite. So let's jump right into the generals now, shall we? First off, I'm gonna, before I actually start assigning generals, make sure to check out the rankings of the units that you're going to be deploying your generals onto. The super artilleries here, you have 2 of them. They're ranked differently. One only has 3 bars of ranking, and the other one is a gold star ranking. This actually translates to stat differences. The 3 bar one only has 95, 18, and 315, while the gold star one is 99, 20, and 335. And that's where we're gonna be deploying Konev, where I talked about him before. As well as the other videos, I'll tell you about how I've dripped out my generals. Konev is wearing level 3 artillery honor and artillery defense ribbons. He's take 15% less damage and has an 18% chance to do crits with 30% extra damage. Those are not to be confused with the fatal blows that artillery leader gives you. The critical hits do less damage and they do not stack. So you don't have a 78% chance to do a critical hit or a fatal blow, excuse me. You have a 16% chance and then an 18% chance and then a 60% chance. So they don't stack. Keep that in mind. It is kind of annoying. That artillery leader is boosted by the Empire medal. The Sun medal I also have on Konev boosts his accuracy, so he deals nearly 50% extra damage. And the Conqueror medal he has doubles the crossfire ability, which makes him do 60% extra damage when he's attacked by the enemy. So his counter offensives are actually even more powerful than his regular attacks. And the rumor that he has 75% chance to demoralize the enemy is applicable on every attack of his, which hit pretty hard since he has maxed out stars on artillery. He does an extra 30 damage. So I'm putting Konev on the best unit I have available. I definitely want to stretch out his lifespan. Next up is my second best commander that I haven't used and haven't dedicated to other war zones. That would be Zhang. Let's actually go through the stats. Same ribbons, same sun medals and empire medals. This time, instead of the crossfire medal, he has the honor medal, which increases the augments the ace forces, which increases the amount of experience he gets in battle. This is good because he starts off at a lower rank, so upgrading that artillery fast means that he has slightly more health and slightly more damage in defense. We want to take advantage of that as soon as we can. Zhang isn't as fleshed out as Lieb or Konev. He doesn't have such high chances of fatal blows from his artillery leader. His crossfire isn't as upgraded, and his accuracy isn't as upgraded. Level 3 across the board. Still not bad. Neither is his artillery attack power. He's got 5 stars, dealing an extra 24 damage. He's also got some mobility, same mobility that Konev has, quite useful. He's not as highly ranked. He's only lieutenant colonel. When I have the medals, I might actually spend a little to upgrade Zhang. And the third general I'm going to be using is on the tank here. I have a few tank commanders available, 2, 4, 5 of them at least. Exactly 5 actually. I've used Guderian and Rocco already. You've already seen me put Whitman to use in the final mission. So I've got Patton, Grazianni, and Rommel left. Leave in the comments how you think that I might be able to improve these runs. If you think that there's better generals of combinations of general that'll yield a final net, a bigger net outcome and combat power for the entire war zone. But I'm going to be using Grazianni on the tank here. He's got level 4 Panzer Logistics ribbon that restores an extra 32 health after defeating an enemy or destroying a city. He also has Panzer Honor 4, has a 24% chance for crits and a 40% chance to do damage. That'll be the only extra damage that he gets to do, since he doesn't have the Panzer Leader ability that can potentially deliver some fatal blows. His abilities, he gets an extra 19 health back every round from Machinist. That's augmented by the Revolution medal. He also has Ace Forces. We know what that does. It's ranked up higher, so it gets an extra 90% experience in combat. The Mountain Fighting medal, kind of useless, only does an extra 5 damage when fighting on the mountains. I don't really see much point in upgrading those kinds of abilities that give you area bonuses, unless you have a good general that comes with those abilities ranked up right off the bat. Like Mannerheim, you'll see me use Mannerheim. He also has level 5 Rumor, so he has a 75% chance to demoralize. And he has Blitzkrieg, which I've augmented with the Assault medal, so he does a 90% chance that the enemy won't retaliate when he's using tanks, which is pretty nice because you want to, again, preserve the health of your units. When they're above half health, they do a lot more damage. He doesn't hit too hard if we don't have the Panzer ribbon kick in. He only has an extra 24 Panzer attack. Not bad. Limited mobility, but it does help out a little bit. So now let's see. Let's hope we get some good RNG. Nope, right off the bat. You sort of want to get perfect hits. You want artillery leader, the fatal blows and the critical hits to kick in right off the bat. If they don't, it can really mess up your run. For instance, 155. I don't think Grazianni could do 155. You want to be able to take out as many of these units as you can right off the bat. If 186. That might not be enough for Grazianni to actually take out this artillery in the corner here, especially if I get some bad RNG from my infantry dealing some damage. Yeah, so Grazianni can't attack again. If you have good RNG, you can basically take out all 3 of these units on the first turn, but we didn't. So I'm going to keep on rolling. I'm going to explain what happened. I'm going to keep on restarting the run like so. You've already seen why I've made some of the moves I've made. Oop, don't want to have that there. I'll just move you up to the corner there where I won't really be using you. There we go, 174. Now, I know Grazianni could definitely do 106 damage to start. So I'll move him down. I'll also move Konev down. Hopefully, do some good damage there. Yes, he can. 134. Should be able to take him out with Grazianni after dealing some decent damage with the infantry. And again, bad roll. But you can see there's a progression and evolution. If you want to be able to attack the city as soon as you can and take advantage of the heavy tank ability. So if you get bad RNG, it just doesn't work out. You would also be dropping the satellite and then moving your rocket artillery into town and giving it a good strafe. And if Grazianni had taken out this super artillery, he'd be able to take out this howitzer and attack the city, which you might see me do in the next turn after I restart. I'll see you once I get some good RNG. I'm trying to give you a perfect run here. More tips and tricks will follow. Welcome back. We got some good RNG. Should be able to do some real good damage here. Grazianni can take that out. Can take that out. Can take that out. And even do some damage, critical blow, and demoralizing on that city there. So that's what an optimal first turn looks like. And you can see I've already managed to take out 100 combat power, 7% of their combat power right off the start. So that's what good RNG looks like. And you have to keep on re-rolling. You have to keep on restarting the matches if things don't go your way. So now what we'll do, try to take that infantry out of the way as soon as possible. Remember, we do have missiles and nukes, but we have a limited industrial capacity, so we want to occupy that industrial plant as soon as possible. Try to get this infantry out of the way, which Grazianni can do. Move Lieb up, gets a critical hit. That's actually kind of vital. And I should be able to take out Morida this turn. Remember that these mines count for combat power, so you want to save your infantry to be able to take out the mines and then reserve it for doing actual damage to units on the board. My mechanized infantry has the sapper power, sapper ability, so he can safely destroy these mines. I also want to do some damage to this artillery, so I can take it out next turn and move my units into position as soon as I can. Now I'll take the city with my infantry. Take out the infantry with Grazianni. Remember, he does have that logistics medal, so when you can, take out units in cities with Grazianni. He'll heal up substantially. Sometimes, as you saw with the Guderian video, he can basically just re-heal any damage he takes. Now, want to take this factory again. Start hammering away at Kodik in the corner here. I'm fine with letting Konik hit at Konev because Konek isn't a good tank, isn't an excellent tank commander. He's not configured for doing heavy damage. He's configured for surviving. So I'm fine letting Konek hit Konev because Konev is well configured for dealing massive amounts of damage, especially when he gets attacked. So I'm more than happy to let the fortress and Kodik attack Konev. It's even better when the fortress attacks Konev because the fortress, through its debuff, only has only deals 40% less damage to artillery units. I'm fine with that. I'll move the artillery back into the city so it takes less damage when it does get attacked. Cities protect your units. I'll also move Grazianni up here and attack the tank. I moved Grazianni up there even though he's out of striking range of a fortress, because one, the fortress is going to attack my infantry, and two, because having Grazianni in this position will move Udincev out of the city, and we want to have a weaker unit in the city to keep damage to it. I don't want to have Udincev in the city because he has Blitzkrieg, which activates knowing AI RNG too often, and your rumor doesn't activate when he does attack. So you want to draw Udincev out of the city. Kodik is going to stay there, and I'm fine having Kodik stay in the city. I don't know how to draw him out. I don't know if I want to draw him out. We'll see. I'll move Zhang in between my city and the fortress. I'm attacking the fortress because, one, it has a lot of health. Two, whenever you get a direct hit on the fortress of any unit, whether it's infantry, rocket, artillery, super artillery, tanks, anything, aside from air power, you reduce the damage. You reduce the defense of the fortress. They start off with 35. One hit reduced its defense by 8. And that's permanent in these war zones, all of the war zones, not just the Doom ones, which sets it apart from the Frontier modes. Quite useful, if I say so. Let's see if I can take out this tank up here. Should be able to. Heal up Grazianni and get a morale boost. I'll take out some of the defense on that fortress up there, and keep on using Konev to damage Kodik. Unfortunate that Kodik's ability triggered, or ribbon triggered there, but I'm fine with that. I'll move the infantry back towards my I'll actually move my infantry up to attack the fortress, and then I'll move it out of the way so the fortress can focus on my artillery commanders and have them do more damage. And I'll move my infantry to attack Kodik and just do some chip damage over time. Yep. Good turn there. I also put Zhang in between the infantry and the city because the infantry will rather attack Zhang than take the city. Which didn't happen. It's focusing on my infantry. Quite unfortunate. I'm fine with that. Actually, I think I'm starting to regret my decision to have Udincev move out of the city. This is a new tactic. If it doesn't work out, then I'm just going to scrap this video and start from the beginning. Because having Udincev in the city means that I can keep on doing damage to both him and the city, instead of having to dedicate doing damage to just the city alone. And I won't be able to take out Kodik this turn anyway, because the city just has too much health, and it will have been a waste to have Konev attack the city again. Also, for an 80% chance of the enemy not attacking back, it's happening awfully often, and that's kind of annoying. And yeah, I was sort of banking on one of these units coming into the city and attacking my general from there, but apparently that doesn't happen. That actually really messes up with your run. So I'm going to come back with an entirely new scenario, in which case I leave Udincev in the city, and I think I might squeeze out more combat power out of this mission. I'll see you there. Alright, so welcome back to the alternate scenario for this war zone. We've moved a few turns back. We're back on turn 3, so I've changed things up a little bit, had some good RNG. Grazianni was able to attack the artillery that was in that corner when he attacked Grazianni, so I could move Zhang up to this position here and have him damage the fortress instead of having to do extra damage this way. The new move I'm making is, rather than moving Grazianni up here, is I'm moving him right there, out of range of this fortress, but in range of this fortress and of Udincev. I want to maximize the amount of damage I'm doing to the fortress, so I'm going to reduce its defense as soon as I can. And now Udincev can stay in the city, reducing the health of the city, which accounts for combat power, as well as doing damage for Grazianni if Udincev's Blitzkrieg ability doesn't activate 1 in 3 chance. He still does some good. He's a good tank commander. Tide of Iron, Crossfire. So you definitely want to have artillery and someone with Blitzkrieg attacking him if he's on a tank commander. Fortunately, again, not the best RNG rolls. I'm gonna move my infantry up here. Attack the fortress, keep chipping away. Infantry takes less damage, and this sort of infantry does more damage to stronghold units, so I don't mind using him. Hopefully, nope. God-awful RNG on that run. Not necessarily god-awful, but still pretty bad RNG. Didn't do a fatal blow, and he still got retaliated against. So hopefully Konev stays above half health for the remainder of this battle, because we want him to be firing on all cylinders. Maybe Konev will attack Grazianni here. Not quite sure. I'll have him attack Konev anyway, because the health of the city restores before my turn begins anyway. So now now that I've taken out the health of that fortress down a notch, the defense rather, I'm gonna start attacking the city. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 105. I think if I hit him with some rocket artillery, should be able to do over 70, restore some health, move down, and this is an excellent position for Grazianni to be in, because now, once I have the health of this city down and this city down, I should be able to just hit him once, do some damage, hit the other city, do some damage there, and then deal damage to other units as I see fit. That's an excellent strategy to use. I'd recommend doing so. You maximize the amount of damage you do, and each turn you heal up at least 64 health on Grazianni because he has that level 4 Panzer Logistics Ribbon. I'm going to move Zhang up a little farther so he can be in position to attack the fortress and potentially attack Udincev if I need him to. I'm going to keep on focusing that fortress. And now that Kodak is down some health, I'm just going to use my artillery to do my infantry to do chip damage. I'm going to move it down because now that that super tank is threatening my infantry. I'm going to start. I always start off every turn by taking out the health of the cities, just so I don't forget that's free damage that you're potentially passing up on, and you don't want to pass up on free damage. Don't want to forget my infantry. I'll keep on hammering away at this fortress. You want to save the fortress until it spawns another unit, because the spawned units from the fortresses count for combat power. You want to put all of the enemy's combat power in the field as soon as you can, because they attack your units. You can attack them, chip away at the health. I took out the health of the cities. So now I'm going to try to cut off this super tank from moving down and attacking my infantry by moving Grazianni there. And I want to keep on doing damage to this fortress to knock down its defense. Hopefully the super tank will be attacking Grazianni instead of moving down here. I also want to make an extra nuke. I should theoretically have enough industry to launch 2 missiles by the end of this. You want the nukes do good combat power. But yeah, what I was saying about the tank didn't work out, so I'm just gonna try to move my infantry out of there, or not really anything I can do right now. Yeah, that's a bad move that the super tank made, because now this fortress is going to target my infantry rather than targeting one of my commanders. Not good. I also don't want that tank occupying my industry. Try to get the fortresses down as much defense as you can before you use nukes or satellites on them. I took out the health of that city already, but I don't mind hitting it again. I'll keep on using Konev. Bad RNG with Konev. Typical. How much health does this have? 77. You should be able to do that. 95. Easy. I'm going to move Grazianni back into the golden position. Kinky. I know. I honestly think that I can dedicate my rocket artillery and infantry towards taking out the last of that fortress, and I'll instead have my commanders focus on this fortress in the corner, get that defense down. Okay, never mind. I definitely don't want my my rocket artillery down there anymore. I'm gonna have it fall back. Draw the super tank away from the fortress. Have Konev finish that off. Keep using my infantry up there. Do some chip damage. Keep focusing down the fortress. I want to get its defense down before I use my nukes. Good, the tank is attacking Zhang instead. I'm fine, more than happy with that. Let's see. Konev can move 4 spaces. I'd like to put Konev where Zhang is so the super tank attacks Konev and Konev has a chance to deal even more damage than Zhang can. But I have to move through the mountains and the trees if I want to get to Zhang's position. I don't have confidence that Konev can make it. He can really only move for... Well, he probably could, but there's really no need to take that risk and have Konev be out of position in this final strike. I can't remember if I... 98, 98, 97. Unfortunate. That's fine. Zhang. Konev doing some good damage there. Remember, we have some nukes. Let's use them. Remember that some nukes have a large blast radius. The more advanced the nuclear weapon is, the wider its blast radius. You want to use your nuclear weapons after you've attacked with your main units, with your commanders. Because in Konev's case, if he was closer, the AoE of the splash damage of the nuke could potentially drop him below half health and minimize the amount of damage that he could do. We also have fighters. I can use 3 bombers or 4 fighters. I'd rather have 4 fighters in use, if not 5 fighters, if my math is correct, which it isn't. And at the end of turn 10, the enemy units, depending on if they're still active, they'll keep on attacking your units. So although I finished with 1054 combat power, the fortress is still going to attack one of my units and the tank is still going to attack my units. And let's see if they do, which they do. So I went from 1057 to 1080. I think that's actually history best. 1080, 75% completion with Konev, Zhang, and Grazianni. That is a history best. I think I beat it out by like 1 or 3 points. So that's the best strategy I've found to complete the first Warzone, the artillery Warzone. If you have any improvements, any better tactics, any different general combinations that you think can be put to better use than you've seen in other war zones that I'll walk through, please let me know down in the comments. If you liked the video, found it helpful, please drop a like. I'll keep on throwing out these World Conqueror guides, even though the game is old and I don't think it has such a huge player base. If you're one of the poor bastards who's watching this video, congratulations, you're part of a very exclusive club. I don't know if that exclusivity is a good thing or not in this scenario, but yeah, I'll go through war zones, frontiers, scenarios, using endgame generals for now. Once I've done all of that, I'll give myself a challenge again and just make some content that might be more suitable for more mid-game viewers or viewers that aren't willing to invest too much time or money in the game, and I'll do a mid-game walkthrough with generals and abilities that might be more reasonable for your average player to have. I might do some general guides. Who knows? Subscribe if you want to see that kind of content. I'll tell you if I use any premium content. I'll tell you how it impacts the game when I do have premium content. It really only comes into play for 2 missions here, the infantry mission and the airstrike mission, if I use it at all, depending on the combinations of generals that I use. I try to be as upfront and honest with you guys as I can. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.